água? Não! Tá com sede? Tô! Olha, 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 água mineral, água mineral, água mineral, água mineral da capital! Você vai ficar legal!
Okay, Amanda, now I'm confused. What was that which you sang in the introduction of this video?
That was a very popular song from the late 90s here in Brazil, which I have appropriately included in this video because it asks you whether you're thirsty, to which the answer is yes. And since, well, the answer is yes, here goes the mineral water, and it's all about that. So appropriately, I have included that in this video where I'm gonna talk about how they dealt with the distribution of drinking water in Rio during the time of the Empire. I have already made a video about how they dealt with the distribution of drinking water, which, as I mentioned before, was always an issue since the beginning of the city of Rio. And on this video, I also explained that yes, the water here in Rio is safe, not to worry, as long as you drink it from a filter. And I showed you everything in this video, so I'm gonna leave the link above so you can check it out and get that explanation, because it is actually a very important one, but I don't want to keep repeating myself, so do check out that in this video. Very important for when you come to Rio. Before I get right onto the theme of the video, I have to remind you that I'm currently offering walking tours here in the city of Rio, and all of them are described on my website, which link will be in the description box below, as well as in the first fixed comment. So all you have to do is click there, text me via WhatsApp, that's very important, make your reservations, and let's get to know the city of Rio in person, folks! With me, Amanda Enderman, your trusty tour guide, of course. And now, without further ado, let's dive right into the theme of the video. As in many other situations, the Brazilian Empire, in terms of modernization of distribution of drinking water, was basically a transitional period between the very old-fashioned bucket of water in the shoulder or on your head, the way it was on the thumbnail, and the more modern version, which gladly, hallelujah, we are using to this day, which is for water to come directly to your house via pipes and the like. And as such, on the one hand, they were building more fountains or modernizing old fountains, and on the other hand, they were already planning on having direct water to the houses through pipes. To begin with, in 1823, a water hole of very iron-filled water was discovered in the road of the neighborhood of Tijuca by Dom Pedro I. However, it was only in May 1830 when the second fountain of the Lago da Carioca was opened. I did mention the first one in the video, Hydrating Rio in colonial times, which was built back then and such. However, this fountain was very much worn and torn, not only by the hand of time, but also because, let's face it, ever since mankind has been on planet Earth, there have been conflicts around water holes, rivers, and lakes, and places where you could build wells regarding whose property was it. So here, in regards to the fountains that were built, it was no different. And also what contributed to that naturally was that the water fountains were also places of socialization. It was a place where people had to go probably every single day. So they ended up talking and also arguing. So with time, also in the time of the Empire, they established patrols to guard the fountains in order to control this thing. But oftentimes the hands of time as well as misuse led to the water fountain to be so destroyed that it had to be torn down and rebuilt again. And in this case, this was proposed appropriately by a police officer called Luiz Paulo de Araújo Bastos. He probably was tired of all the confusion and such. And it was made of painted wood imitating granite. Also, it had 40 faucets, ample space for people to get water, let's hope without confusion. Furthermore, in 1833, Colonel and hydraulic engineer José Guasque proposed establishing a company of Brazilian and English capitalists to take water directly to the houses through pipes, and also to work on the sewage for the houses, and even furthermore to illuminate the city of Rio. Yes, bring public lighting through gas lights, which was very modern at the time. Electric lighting would only come later. This was all in theory. In practice, water caddies, yes, we also had those here, would go from house to house offering water in large buckets or jars or what have you. And the water sold by these water caddies, unfortunately, was often hot, because let's face it, it is Brazil, and even more specifically, it is Rio, and a bit dirty. After this video, you can go to your filter or wherever water comes from in your house and thank your lucky stars that you have that. The actual building for water to be directed to the houses through pipes was only begun in the second half of the 19th century. So yeah, people wouldn't get water from the faucet anytime soon. And once people bought the water from these water caddies, the water was stored in the houses in barrels or in clay pots, which would be then put in covered and well ventilated places, and this would keep the water fresh. And by the way, we still have filters, but they're actually large buckets with a faucet that are still made of clay. They're normally seen in grandma's houses. In 1840, the second water fountain of the Lago da Carioca was built. This time it was designed by the military engineer, again military, and architect Joaquim Cândido Guilobel. And this time it was made of actual granite. Finally, in 1842, a group of faucets, meaning another water fountain in practice, was opened in the neighborhood of São Cristóvão, in the left margin of the river. Also, in this same year, 2 fountains were built in the beach at the neighborhood of Botafogo. One in front of the new road, which exists to this day, though today is not so new, and another one in front of the Olinda Street, probably known by a new name today. This is it. I hope you liked the video, and if you liked the video, please hit that like button. Then right after that, hit that subscribe button, but most importantly, hit multiple times on that share button and share this video with as many people as you possibly can, so that each time more people may know about the wonders of the wonderful city. And as usual in this channel, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!